Hello everyone, Gabriel Lima here from Portugal. Okay, I'm just gonna invite Leonel Rodrigues from Lisbon area. Also Sergio Costa from northern Portugal. Let's just wait a bit. Okay, Sergio is on the way, and Leonel. Here we go. Good evening, Sergio. Welcome. Let's just wait a bit more. We need to. Where is Lunel? Lunel. Here we go. Awesome. Hello, good evening, everyone. Lunel, Sergio, welcome.
How are you?
Good evening, everyone. So we are running now our Unplugged Live Mondays, always at the same time, 9:30 Lisbon time. And before we start talking about our topics, let me introduce us. So I'm Gabriel Lima from Travel Algarve GL Tours from the Algarve area. And with us we have also Leonel Rodrigues from Lisbon area, and also Sergio Costa from Porto, northern Portugal. And as usual, we're gonna chat a bit here about our passion for Portugal and also this beautiful travel industry where we are also professionals. So I would love to invite everyone to drop your questions. And today we're going to talk about some random topics who are actually very usual and they keep popping up around here. I'm talking about, the rain, the weather, the off season, the off the beaten path, and all these topics that keep popping up. Even yesterday, I just shared. Let me invite everyone. Lionel, don't forget to invite everyone, please. So even yesterday, I just dropped a nice post about the shoulder seasons, and that I've been noticing recently. And guys, I'm starting myself, okay? And I've been noticing so that October is no longer off season. October is way more like a peak season than off season. So I've been noticing lots of people here in Albufeira. Also, like yesterday, I saw lots of people in Lagos, Ponta da Piedade, Carvoeiro, Algar Seco. It was full of people. And well, this is good. This is good from our side, because of course we need tourism all around the year. But also, well, this also can create some, I don't know, some different thoughts in some people, because some people they are coming to visit us now, and they don't expect to see so many people in some spots. Well, even yesterday I had these two lovely doctors from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they were a bit surprised to see so many people. We had a few buses at Lagos, Ponta da Piedade, so popular these days. And also in Carvoeiro, it was really hard to park my van. It was like summer. Well, like I said, this is great. Okay, I just hope people they can put some questions. And well, let's start from Lisbon, the capital. I mean, of course, even today you went to Porto. I know you covered the whole country. Sergio, of
Yeah.
course, too, and sometimes they have to cover other spots too. But so, Lunel, what do you think
Well,
about this off-season, shoulder season, and of course about the rain in October, which is something that
that
it's so crazy having rain in October, right?
yeah. Well, that this is an interesting topic, in fact. And well, the guests I've been with, and you're going to be with them in a few days. Um, I've been traveling with them for a few days, and I've been doing a few different things. And they told me that, yeah, we like to travel a bit more on the shoulder season, so where it's a bit quieter and such. And they ended up running into a few things. Well, in Lisbon, it was not so quiet. We were touring Lisbon, and it was considerably busy over there. We normally, well, we've been having some cruise ships in Lisbon once in a while, so that really, well, and brings up a lot of people into the city. And these seasons, or the cruise ships, by example, they are extending through the what we normally know as the shoulder season. So if it's an area that is expected to have, or it's an area that has cruise ships nearby, expect not to have really a shoulder season. In fact, well, one of the good hints if you're going to stay in a big city, it's to check, and that information is online. It's to check the maritime authorities or about the harbor arrivals to see if on that day will be a lot of people or not, because you can easily plan to go out of the city to a tour somewhere where it's not expected to have so many people or so, and then tour the city itself. Well, if there's not so many cruise ships over there, on the city. But this is something I've noticed, and I'm talking about Lisbon. In Porto, might be happening. Well, something similar. Although now Porto, with the new rules about the tourism buses and such in the center, let's see what's going to happen. But that's another story. But you also touched in in an interesting subject, Gabriel. That is the rain. Well, in fact, today I left in the morning with some rain. We arrived at Nazaré, and the downtown Nazaré was particularly quiet. But uptown, going to the fort, everybody was going there, so it was very busy over there. And we were having some little showers, quite normal for this time of the year. I even planned the tour a little bit differently, because I was telling my guests, if we'll go there to the fort, if there's some showers coming, it will be a little bit hard because it's unprotected from the side, so all the wind will blow the rain heavily, and we're not going to enjoy it. But then, against all odds and against all the forecasts, okay, we left Nazaré, the sun was opening, we arrived in Aveiro, and it was nice with some blue sky. In fact, we were, having a snack outside, and it was considerably warm. And I was going to drop off my guests in Porto, and I was constantly checking the forecast. And the forecast on some websites that I consider very accurate, they were telling me around 2 millimeters of rain. That it's already something considerable, okay. And there was no rain in Porto. I drove back from Porto to nearly almost to Lisbon, where I live, and didn't get a drop of rain, although the forecast was saying it would be raining considerably. And this brings me again to a topic, to a subject that we see constantly being discussed or being asked. Oh, the forecast says it's going to rain. I'm going to cancel my vacation. Should I cancel my tour? Should I cancel this? I cancel that? Well, the weather is becoming more and more unpredictable. You can have all the weather forecast models, all the radars, all the things, but you end up sometimes being certain spots that it's totally different. So today it was different for the best, because we got a great day. A part of some little showers in the morning. Yes, I got a little bit wet in the morning in Nazaré, but the rest of the day was great. So it's always hard to tell people travel on this or that month where the weather will be better, or don't travel on this or that month because it rains a lot, because the weather is changing. In fact, we are really watching the seasons changing, things moving a little bit. My suggestion is be positive, because you're still traveling to beautiful locations, and you might get lucky to have a good shot of the rain not to be so strong, or the weather not to be so bad as the forecast was saying. Okay, and this applies to the next few days. We have alerts of storms, heavy winds, that kind of stuff. Well, on all my time touring, okay, and I'm speaking about touring with my own company almost for 3 years, and I did plenty of tours for other companies in the past. I just remember once that I canceled the tour because the weather was terrible and I was feeling really unsafe driving to do that kind of tour. Okay, I don't want to tell people to disregard the alerts or to disregard the information. What I want to tell people is sometimes the forecast 1 or 2 days before, okay, it might change really quickly, okay, and assess it at the day, or try to assess it as later as possible, okay, to see how things are going, because sometimes, and this has been happening for me to me a few times, people that were wondering if they should cancel or not, they come on the tour and they have a great day. Okay, so sometimes people need to, not to be so much afraid of what can happen, because it's not going to be so bad at all. But was just talking about the experience today. I'm really hoping that the next few days, things will go great as well. I have the whole week booked. But if it's raining, we need to be positive. There's
and
plenty of places that would love to have that rain.
yeah.
Okay, so
And we have to adjust. That's it.
exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
I normally say I bring my umbrellas, and if I carry my umbrellas, normally it doesn't rain. If I leave the umbrellas in the car, we will be soaking wet. So I prefer to carry the umbrellas and to be safe with it. So,
Yeah.
but this is pretty much what I've been doing, and things have been working. But let's ask Sergio. Sergio might have some interesting insights as well. From his side, a lot of things have been changing nearby. So, go on, Sergio.
Good
What
evening,
can you tell
everyone.
us?
So, you started by saying that there's been quite a few changes happening in Porto recently. Well, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room then. For people who don't know, very recently, the city hall, the mayor, they have come forth with a new law that is heavily restricting pickups and drop-offs in the historical center of Porto. So it's becoming so tricky that you now have schedules, you have to ask for permits, and you have to ask them more than 20 days in advance. You have to fill out a form detailing the itinerary for the pickups, which is an absolute nightmare. And even if you're authorized to do it, even if you have the permit to conduct your pickups and drop-offs in the downtown area of Porto, if you're going there at certain schedules, the schedules that I've seen were between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., which is the bulk of the pickups for people doing tours. And then for the drop-offs is precisely between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. So even if you have the permit, you won't be authorized to go into the downtown area during those hours. So this is basically throwing a big wrench into a lot of small company plans, where we're now readjusting for the pickups at new locations, trying to find new locations. And be aware that cities signs are being put on in the cities right now, delimiting the areas, and we're also hearing things like fines are going to be handed over by the police if you're not respecting the schedules, or if you don't have the proper permits. So it's becoming a little bit tricky. This is all part of the mayor's plan to make the city a little bit more walkable. But personal opinion, I just think that he's misplacing a little bit who's the culprit for the current traffic situation in Porto. But again, this is just my opinion. It's based on what I know, what I've been seeing. So other people have other opinions, and they are free to voice them in the comments down below. So, interesting topic you guys chose for today. You want to talk a little bit about rain, and you waited for the guy that lives in the rainiest place in the country to express his opinion. So, little unknown fact, I usually tell people this only when they arrive over here to the city, obviously. But a little unknown fact is that we experience more rain over here in Porto than London does. And it's not noticeable, or at least it's not heavily publicized, thank God. But at least for us, we have one big saving grace. So whatever we do when we're experiencing a raining day, well, fortunately for us, we have the wine cellars, so we just sip on a little bit of Porto wine. So this is one of the fantastic things that you can do over here in the city if you have a rainy day. My usual recommendation is don't change your plans. I don't think that there's going to be a need to change your plans. Just be prepared, carry an umbrella, carry I don't know, a rainproof jacket, something like that, and just explore because more often, this is so I'm passing from one of the do's to one of the don'ts. And in Porto, one of the things that you don't want to do, you don't want to jump into a taxi, you don't want to jump into an Uber or into a bus just to move a couple of blocks, especially on a rainy day, because everyone is going to have the same idea, and I swear that you're going to be stuck in a traffic jam for the better part of
Yeah.
30 minutes or so. If you really want to take public transportation to move from one side of the city to the other one, metro is your best friend in the city. And yeah, the subway stations, they are within the city, they are already very common. So you can go, for example, from São Bento to Trindade, and then in Trindade you change to go to Bulhão. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle, but if you want to stay dry, that's probably one of your best options. But even from São Bento to Bulhão, it's probably what, a 10-minute walk. So if you were to jump into a taxi, an Uber, considering the traffic restrictions in the city, all of the construction happening right now, you're better off just walking, just carrying an umbrella with you. Lionel said that he always carries the umbrella when to make sure that it doesn't rain. I actually do something very similar. I call the umbrella is my insurance policy against rain, basically.
Exactly.
So I know that whenever I'm carrying the umbrella, it's not going to rain either. I usually tell people there's two things that that I don't control. It's weather and then it's traffic. And then usually I can do something about the first one, the weather, not about traffic in Porto, which is miserable already, even before all of these restrictions. So yeah,
Yeah.
things that you can do in Porto. Well, I don't feel like you have a necessity to change your plans. Carry an umbrella, be prepared, have fun. Um, Maybe you can invest a little bit more into in some indoor activities rather than outdoor activities. For example, you're not going to be walking a whole lot in the city. I imagine that on a rainy day over here in the city, people don't want to be outside as much. So invest in indoor activities. We have a plethora of museums. We have wine bars. We have the wine cellars. We have fantastic restaurants as well. All things that make up for a beautiful, I'm gonna call it Plan B, but in fact, these should also be part of your experience, not just in Porto, but throughout the entire country. So museums, activities, some might be indoors. And yeah, over here in Porto, we're very blessed because, well, we're basically the cradle of Porto wine because we have the wine cellars just across the river, so you can visit a couple of them. One of the things that is that has a reputation for whatever reason, people think of it as a tourist trap, and it couldn't be further away from the truth. Check out World of Wine. Even if you're not a wine aficionado, you have the Cork Museum, you have the Chocolate Museum in there, fantastic experience, and also very nice restaurants in just that little district over there. So you're going to spend a fantastic morning, fantastic afternoon, just exploring the place. So yeah, there's no shortage of things to do. For people of Porto, one of the things that we have is that if it's raining in Porto, just drive west, sorry, just drive east for 1 hour, because then you'll be at the Douro Valley, and the Douro Valley has its own unique microclimate.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I like to tell people, even if it's raining in Porto, I can pretty much guarantee that the sun is always going to make an appearance at the Douro Valley. And so far, it hasn't missed, it hasn't skipped the appearance. So I'm very happy to tell people to just, okay, take a day trip to the Douro Valley, take a tour to the valley, and even if it's raining, even if you think like it's going to be somewhat of a lost day, uh, one of the things that I've been recommending as of late is just hop onto a train, go all the way to Pinhão, or venture even a little bit further out, go to Pocinho, It's a fantastic train ride. Despite the rain, you're gonna have a wonderful experience because you're gonna enjoy some beautiful landscapes from the comfort of your train. You can get up, you can walk around a little bit in the aisle. You can also go to the car that has the bar, etc. So the train, in my opinion, is a fantastic way of going to the Douro Valley if it's on a rainy day and if you just want to enjoy a little bit more scenery. And for me, it's fantastic to be able to watch the rain just rolling down the window as you're just going along the river, watching all those terraces. And yeah, it's beautiful. So last but not least, Gabriel, you touched base on one of the key aspects, shoulder season, peak
Yeah.
season, low season. Well, I'm kind of like with Lionel on this one right now. The rest of my month is pretty much already fully booked. This year, I decided to take fewer tours because of my personal reasons, because of the
Yeah.
little baby, and so I decided to just do yeah, four, maybe five tours, maybe opening an exception here and there, uh, to just stay home more. And so because of that, I already have a full schedule till the end of the month. But in my opinion, yeah, there's definitely no shoulder season anymore right now. Or even the peak season at the Douro Valley, it's pretty much just extending, in my opinion, from late March, early April into late October to early November. But for me, most beautiful time of the year, and I know that we have a couple of guides over here that are focused on the north of the country, the Douro Valley, watching this with us, and I think that they can all agree with me. The most beautiful time of the year for the Douro Valley is yet to come. A lot of people think it's September because of the harvest. For us locals, late October to November, changing colors on the vines, and I can't get tired of telling people venture out to the Douro Valley in November, do a little bit more hiking, a little bit more walking, get to see the countryside because we're gonna have fantastic landscapes. It's not just the Douro Valley. Neighboring areas are also gonna be amazing. Like one of the places that I absolutely love going is the natural park of Serra das Miadas, which is just above Lamego, another Douro Valley town and very beautiful location. It's also a natural reserve, so you're gonna see animals over there. You're gonna see horses, you're gonna see deer, you're gonna see foxes, you're gonna see wild boars, a lot of animals over there. You're gonna see birds of prey as well. And I like going over there in November just because that forest is amazing, because of the animals as well. And for people who know them, yeah, one of the things that I absolutely love doing over there is mushroom hunting, in the sense
Mhm.
that I don't harvest the mushrooms because I'm not knowledgeable enough to know which mushrooms are edible and
Yeah.
which ones are edible just once.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
I like to take pictures, and it's one of the things that makes for me it's fun to try to do a little bit of a photograph of the mushrooms. And I actually started with this even before starting with astrophotography. So yeah, these are some of the recommendations that I have to give to people. Don't fret about the weather. A lot of people ask me, how is this going to affect? Are we going to need to change our itinerary during the trip? And I always tell them, the tours are usually structured in such a way that the rain is going to amount to something like just a minor inconvenience throughout the day. You're gonna still see the views. You're gonna still have wonderful time. A lot of people are gonna think the same way that you're thinking. They're gonna think that, oh, it's raining. I'm not going there precisely because it's raining, because I'm not gonna take advantage of it. And for the few persons who actually decide to go on such a trip during a rainy day, that's even more spectacular for them because sometimes we actually have the impression that we have those locations, and I'm talking about the Douro Valley, but this is also applicable to Lisbon, to the Algarve as well. Sometimes people don't go when it's raining, and then the few that go have those locations just for
Yeah.
themselves, which
Yeah.
completely
Exactly.
transforms the experience.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
these are just
and
my 2 cents on all of this.
and sometimes people get there and it doesn't rain. Okay, and it
Exactly.
happened
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
It happened to me a few days ago, driving out of Lisbon, heading towards Sintra. And well, for those who know, I was passing near Queluz, and well, I barely could see the road or the Queluz Palace.
Mhm.
And then, well, approaching Sintra, we were seeing the mountain, and it was clearing out. And when we got to the top of the mountain, one of the very rare times that I went towards Pinna Palace. But yes, it was clearing out, and well, my guests had some amazing views from the top. So and well, just leaving Lisbon, it was very foggy. Sometimes it's a total opposite. We leave Lisbon and with a nice and bright sunshine, and we get there, it's quite foggy. But well, um, if you feel that the weather might be ruining your experience, give it a second. Giving it a second try, or well, check it closer to see if it's really
Yeah.
going to be so bad or not, because probably you're going to have some surprise. And well, you probably have these ones in the Algarve as well. So.
Well, the Algarve is a bit specific, and why? Well, when people they look to the Algarve, what they expect? Sun, beaches, cliffs. But of course, the Algarve has more than that. But the reality is that even today, we had a forecast, rain, rain, rain. We had maybe light rain for about 1 hour, 2 hours, and then the whole afternoon it was sunny. So of course, it does make sense to cancel a tour. Of course, sometimes we have storms and we have some days that become really, really rainy, and then maybe we are a bit in trouble. But of course, there are alternatives too. We don't have big cities here like Lisbon or Porto, but we still have things to do around the Algarve. Maybe not in the place where we live. For instance, I live in Albufeira. We have one museum and we have a shopping mall. I mean, we don't have much stuff, but it's very easy to drive from here to Faro, for instance. Then there we have a bit more options, and the same goes for Lagos or Portimão. We have also some vineyards, okay, not as popular as in Douro Valley, but they are quite good too. And well, and mostly, like I said, the rain usually doesn't last for too long here. So usually I can control the where is actually raining, because by using the radar, I can know where the rain is falling, and sometimes I can avoid. I can change the itinerary, and then I can start from one place where it's not raining in the morning, and then in the afternoon I go to the other spot. This happens a lot because, of course, also in the Algarve we have the influence from the west coast, and sometimes the rain comes through the west coast, and then when it's raining in Sagres and Lagos, it's not yet raining in Silves or Carvoeiro. So I started in Carvoeiro or Silves, for instance, and then I go further west when the rain already came to the eastern part. So we try our best to control. I mean, to control. We cannot control, like you said, Sergio. Well, usually when we have good weather, I used to say, well, I have a good weather control. But when the weather is not so good, I used to say, of course, I cannot control the weather. But it's all about a question of attitude. So yeah, if we have the mood, we can do something. But I understand that people, when they think about the Algarve, they are thinking about the Benagil caves, the beach. So I know maybe the rain in the Algarve, it's even more annoying. So I understand this. But I'm very honest, and I always tell people, well, ultimately, if they want to cancel, I mean, okay, so we cancel. I can't do much about it. But usually, never happen. And so many times we are expecting for rain, and then the day become a very nice day. And like you said, some sports, like the sports I've been yesterday, okay, we have to be careful with the cliffs, but sports like where I've been yesterday, like Ponta da Piedade, Algar Seco, they are not overcrowded with people. So it becomes even better. And sometimes after the rain, the color of the ocean and the colors in general, they are even more bright, more beautiful. Okay, guys, before we finish, because time flew by, yes, well, about the shoulder seasons, I got some questions yesterday, so I'm just gonna give a short kick. When I say the shoulder season now is no longer in October, or maybe it's in November, it doesn't mean the places they are totally overcrowded. Okay, the popular spots, we can see more people, but in general, now it's very easy to walk in Albufeira, Lagos, Portimão. So no, it's definitely a good season to visit. Also the Algarve. It's September and October. This is the perfect season. Okay, here we go again. We have some rain. Sometimes last year we had more rain, but yes, we just have to keep the good vibe, and for sure you can have a good time here. I got also some questions, people, asking me about, of course, you got the same, people asking us about hidden gems and all these places away from the tourist spots. Okay, the very good options always go by hiring a local guide, because we know a lot. We know way more than we share online. And to be honest, and I'm going to be totally blunt, we don't have to share everything we know. Also to protect some spots, because I've been seeing some spots who were magical, amazing. They're still good, they're still nice, but honestly, I don't like crowded places. So I reserve these hidden gems usually to my guests. And when I say my guests, uh, I can help people randomly, but I need to understand that they're not gonna share these places in public, because nowadays we live in a world where people, they wanna show they know a lot, and then we all contribute to spoil some spots. And to be honest, I don't want that. But I'm open to talk with people. So if you are listening this on YouTube or Facebook or here live, then okay, just ask me. Okay, just send me a private message, and then we can talk about it. Guys, I don't know if you have something more to add, because in the meantime,
Yeah,
2 minutes over
time
the time.
flies.
Yeah.
Time flies.
All good.
Well,
I
from
don't
my
know if
side,
we have any kind of questions. I was talking.
well, I just want to say something, okay? And I saw that.
Okay,
Well, first
go
there's a
ahead.
few people that just said hi. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
But well, special thanks for Eric, because yesterday, we went to have a nice chat personally. Okay, so we were discussing some interesting subjects, interesting ideas of other stuff that can be done. And for all of these people that already know a little bit of Portugal and that want to know a little bit more, even for leisure or for professional reasons, uh, we love to help. Okay, just it's the kind of stuff that we're not going to be just shouting everywhere, but we discussed some very interesting ideas, and there might be some good stuff coming on, because you just need to sometimes, instead of turning left, turn to the other left and find a different
Oh
gem.
yeah.
So we love to explore, he loves to explore as well, and there's a lot of good things on the way. So thank you everybody once again for watching. It was great to have you over here. I will post this on YouTube as soon as possible as well. So here on the group or on YouTube, you can follow us, and we'll be back here next week.
Yeah, of course.
So with different topics, different subjects. So from my side, thank you very much for watching, and good evening to everybody.
Good evening,
Thanks all.
everyone. Sergio, Lunel. Bye bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you.